Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Crew. I'm Laura, and you are watching Thursday Threads. So the last Thursday Threads, we did an episode of cutting up our scraps, and then we did an episode of putting together this Scrappy sweet pea block. Now I'm going to show you my next step. I think I have enough of these, but of course, I may decide I want it to be a bit longer or a bit wider. For me, of course, I'm 5 foot, so what will fit me won't necessarily fit my husband or my brothers. Probably not even my nephews. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these. Okay. Well, I do have a confession to make. This is not my scrap. I actually bought this from Walmart. I thought these were just really pretty. I got the blue and I got the red. And it was just from one of their pre-cut, a yard or 2 yards or whatever. But I thought that would go really well with the yellow. But this is going to be my back. And I cut this about 10 inches. Give or take. Probably more give than take needed to be, because of course the backing and the batting doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. When we get done, this will be the back, and that's the front. And normally I just go up and down, left and right, left and right. So this is new for me, and I'm really excited because it is actually working, and I'm really liking it. I'm using white for my top stitch. I'm using like a light cream, light tan for the back, for my bobbin. And then let me show you what else I'm doing here. So let's go over to the ironing mat. So I know I've already done a couple of the blues, so I'm going to get one of my reds, and I'm going to lay it down. We're just going to kind of press it. And I've still got it on a lower heat, because that yellow fabric just doesn't seem to tolerate the higher heat very well. And you can tell I didn't cut my batting very neatly. But I'm going to try to at least get one edge matched up. And that way then I'll know that my block is going to be good. So I'm just going to take one of my blocks, and I don't like doing this. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. And I'm going to press this away from the major seams. I'm just going to kind of roll that in. I'm going to try to make sure everything is pressed out really well. And I'm going to do the same thing with this other side. Just kind of rolling that in. Now, I got this side down here very nicely matched up with the batting. Double checking. Yep, we're good. We're good. Yep. Yep, I think we're good all the way around. let's go over to the sewing machine. So I have white in my spool. I have the off-white cream in my bobbin, and I am still using my piecing foot, and I will show you why. Because I'm going to let that and my seams be my guide. Now, ideally, you want to use your walking foot, because then it won't bunch up in different things. But if you go slow and careful, you can do this. So I'm putting the piecing edge right here on the seam, so I am going to be a 1/4 inch away from the seam. And I'm not worrying too much about the beginning of it, because that's going to get hemmed in. You see right there, it kind of bunched a little, so I just lift it. Let's see, about right there. Yep. Right there, it's close enough. Now be careful right here. I have actually kept on going, and I had to take it out. Maybe one more. And I've done this 3 or 4 times now, so I'm kind of getting an eyeball for where I need to be. But the first time I did it, I had to lift and turn, lift and turn, lift and turn. I'm going to come all the way to the edge. And now I'm just going to... Ouch! All right. One more. Now you could do stitch in the ditch, which is where you're going right with your seam, but I want it to be a little different. And I said I don't normally do this. I normally just do a stitch in the ditch, or up and down, left and right. But I'm feeling a little adventurous today. There. It's too far. Just a little more. There we go. All the way to the edge here. Now, well, that's not where I want to be. So let's back it up a little, because I want to come on the inside. I was on the outside, then the inside. Now I want to be on the inside, and then I want to be on the outside. And that's just going, you know, left to right, left to, you know. One more. Quilting, of course, is not really a science. It's kind of a figure it out as you go. And you would adjust, you adapt. It's more like the Marines, you know, you overcome, you improvise. And I say that, and I have no Marines in my family. My father was in the Army. My father-in-law was in the Army. My grandfather and my brother and a bunch of uncles on my mother's side were all Navy. I always remember it was a Clint Eastwood movie. But I always liked that. The Marines, you know, we overcome, we adapt, we improvise. I just always remembered that. Heartbreak Ridge, that's it. Oh, some days I feel like my memory is just not what it used to be. So I always want to make sure I've got plenty of bobbin because I want these to be continuous. There we go. I do not want to be stopping and starting in the middle. I'm okay if we do it at the edge, because that's going to get, you know, sewn in on something else. But I just don't want it to be, you know, loose underneath. See, I got to going really good. I almost forgot. I was just going to keep on going. And I'm going to go ahead and sew. Just to kind of catch everything. And normally I would have a leader or ender there. There you go. Now all I'm going to do is start up here and do it all over again. So starting here, I'm going to come down and then back up on the inside, and then on the inside, and then on the outside, and then that block will be done. So step 2 is done, and I love the way it looks on the back here. Oh, let me show you this one. I like the way it looks on the back. Nothing really fussy or fancy, but it's there. You can see it, you can feel it, so it'll make it. I love this fabric. It looks very vintagey. Yes, that's my word, vintagey. But there we go. So this is what they're going to look like with step 2. Now, just to keep y'all informed, let's see, where did I put them at? I have been doing a bunch of red, white, and blue leaders and enders. 2.5-inch squares. And I'm just putting them together because I am going to need a bunch of these. I am going to be making 16 patches with these. And I don't want to wait till, you know, we're all done to have to get started. Let's see if I can find the one that I thought I was very clever. I found a one with stars and red, white, and stripes. Red and white stripes. So those always go together. So I have my little flags. But that is for the next project. But in the meantime, I'm preparing for it while I'm doing this one. So that when I finish something, I can sew in a couple of my leaders and enders. So I don't know about y'all, I hate it when my thread gets sucked back through the needle. The automatic, the needle threader on this just doesn't work really well. Now the one on my big brother, it's beautiful, I love it. But on this one, So I typically have to, you know, run it over some a candle or something and try to work it through the eye. So I'd like to keep that from slipping out, and that's one of the reasons why I do the leaders and enders. Alright, so we cut our fabric, we got all of our pieces, remember, and I'm doing 3.5 inch squares with 1 5/8 inch little squares here. Of course, you can make them bigger, make them smaller. And if you don't like the way I'm doing it, of course, you can do other things. You could do a little flower in each block. And, you know, this is about as adventurous I'm getting today. But I'm very proud of myself. Because like I said, this is, normally I just keep it very simple. And with this one, I thought I'd try something a little bit more. So, step 2. About to be done. I think I've got 4 of these done now, so I need about 16 more. And then we'll start the next step. So I hope you'll join me for the next Thursday Threads, where we look at the next step of this sweet pea, Scrappy sweet pea block. And then the backing, I really think that's going to look pretty with the yellow in between. Yeah. And I am really liking the quilting as you go method. Trying to learn other methods, but so far this is the one we're going to go with on this. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've been inspired. I sincerely hope you'll give this a try and send us pictures. We love pictures. Don't forget Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners on Facebook. So send us those pictures. Let us see what you're working on. If you've done this one, you know, kind of like, what colors did you pick? Because, of course, you don't have to do Scrappy. You can do, you know, maybe you want this one to be all the same fabrics. Maybe one square is blues, and maybe one square is pinks, and another square is yellows. You know, there are so many options. So many options on this. And I am looking forward to seeing this finished. Very proud of myself. Feeling good. So again, I hope you're having a great day. Get some sewing done. Enjoy yourself. And most importantly, don't forget to come back, because we will do the next step in the next Thursday Threads. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.